What up though, Jamba, and hello. This is Fire from Firecrafts. Now I realize I haven't done one of these in a long time, but I put some new systems in here and I just got to show y'all. It's just, I'm really excited for this. As some of you know, I like to build things that, don't necessarily work like per se, but they look like they work, because I'm all about renewable energy and all of that. So as you can see here, I have my wheel system, my water wheel system that's generating electricity, and it goes to a whole system that I'm about to take you through and show you. So this waterfall, we utilizing it pushes the water down here into this giant tank. Now this glowstone is part of my lore. It's a special mineral that purifies water and does a whole lot of stuff. It just has a lot of semi-magical properties for the people that I have. If you look over there, you can see this little window kind of thing. That's going to come into play later, but let me go and show you some of my systems, okay? Because I like for people to be comfortable. I like people to live a certain type of way. This right here is the local library, just an innocent looking building. And here are my water towers. Now, my water towers are collecting rain. They all collect rain. I'm all big about collecting rain. So we collect rain in these water towers for, to flow to the indoor plumbing. I know it's medieval times, but we're on a whole nother planet, man. It doesn't matter, right? They could have it. Who knows? So this is the hot water tank. As you can see, I'm heating it with magma blocks. So we get it to a nice little boiling temperature if we can. And we have a little booster too. I'll show you that a little later. But, we keep it warm so that we have warm water. And then you have your cool water tank over here where you have your ice blocks. Okay, I got packed ice, I got regular blue ice, so we keep it chill up in here. So, and the two kind of swatch together, they have a little grate in between them, and we keep them at a certain temperature and everything like that. And as you see these little pipes down here, I'm going to show you that in a minute, and you'll see how this whole thing kind of connects. All right, so I'm going to go through this little secret little door over here and show you a part of the system. So this hallway, go down here, and now you can see my water wheel. Okay, my water wheel is spinning, and now it's making energy, making stuff, pumping through. There's electricity is coming through here. All of that electricity is flowing through this big wire. As it's actually a pipe from crops and farms, but it's a sprinkler system, but it's an electrical wire now, just because. All right, so this is my little library, a little area. People come through and just entertain themselves. It's a meeting gathering spot for Shellfax. I'll get into the tour of Shellfax at another time, but now when you come downstairs, this is kind of a scholarly area, but as you can see, this is where that line is feeding into. It's a nice big machine. Got some pumps down there and some pumps that I'm using as generators. So we're using those as generators. Those are from crops and farms as well. So you have your little stations for people, scholarly people, to do their little experiments and things like that. So this is part of a kind of a educational system, kind of thing or whatever, just doing experiments and things. Now when you come all the way down, now we're getting into the nitty-gritty. Oh yeah, there we go. That machine that was pumping the water down and all of that stuff and electricity down, it all comes to this big mamma jamma right here. Okay, that's the regulator. That's the regulator right there, and it's regulating all of that energy into these things. And there's some energy coming from some different sources too, but I haven't gotten to that yet. So as you can see, it's feeding into this wall, and in the back of this wall is the mega computer right here. This is the main frame here. Okay, So I got all kind of things going on in here. It's a little bit of magic, a little bit of technology, a little bit of everything. So this is where the so-called magic happens, I guess. And yeah, so we regulate what's going on, how to distribute the energy and everything like that. And then we have our little mini stations right here. And this is where the technicians kind of work and make sure the power is going all over the kingdom, because we don't only just power Shadowfax, we power like a lot of things in the kingdom. So these are the tanks, the underneath the tanks right here. So you can see the magma blocks for the hot water tank, and they come down here, and you can see the cold water tank. They do the filtering right there. Cold water tank is right here. And then all of that goes into this machine over here, which adds the salts and purifying elements and chemicals, natural chemicals, of course, but to that. And then this big mainframe algebra right here, you know, it collects the power and makes sure that the pumps are going right, like everything has power. So here you can see this little observation center to that tank that I took you down to. You know, we just keep the water in here, and it just kind of flows down and goes to two sides of the village. If I go inside of here, you'll see what basically you saw earlier, where the water comes down. And now I'm on the other side of the village, and this is where the water goes on the other side of the village, because you gotta distribute it equally to both sides, basically. So this is another big machine. As you can see, all the chemicals or natural chemicals, salt and things like that. And then the water is pumped out and up here, and then collected back through here, right there. Yeah. Okay. I don't know where that sand came from, but we're gonna fix that a little bit later on. And then it comes back into here and goes back into the machinery, and it all keeps flowing like that. So the whole purifying system is sustainable, it gets purified, and all of that happens. Now, for all my builders, this is one of those moments. I know you didn't see this building before, but I just had a moment. I got an idea, and when I got an idea in my head, sometimes I just gotta do it. So I just put this in here, stopped the video, and thought about it. I needed another power source, so I built my windmill. Okay, it's a solar windmill. It's got both wind power and solar power. I'm big on renewable energy. So you got your rotors here. You got your solar panels all around, capturing that sun. And you know, that's what's going on. It's something that I needed to do just because the idea kind of just popped in my head, and I was like, I need another power source. You know, because the turbines, the water turbines, they just wasn't enough for me. I needed some more power if we're going to be powering a whole bunch of stuff. So you can see how these lines lead into these junction boxes. The junction boxes lead all the way over here, all the way down this hallway into this big junction box, which is basically a powerhouse, and that leads to the powerhouse that is pretty much on the other side that I showed you before, and bam, that's where it goes to right there. And this powers all the immediate computers and all the immediate, you know, stuff right there. So that's what that is. Now let's see how this all comes together and works in the house. So medieval house, let's see what's going on. Oh, this is nice. This is nice. Okay, I see what you got going on. I see you got the furniture and everything. All right. So yeah, so this is what all this was for. And all the systems go down here. As you can see, the pipes come from that big pipe over there and come into this system. Now, I mentioned this system earlier. This is a rapid heating system for hot water. So like, you know, all the hot water that's coming around, it gets rapidly heated right here, goes into the machines and comes in through your pipes. So these are some of my pipes that are coming up. This is going to be my pretty much sewage pipe, and you know, the technology kind of distributes all of the other types of water, and that's where it is. Okay, can't get the hot water to go. Let me see if I can get the water to go. Yep, there we go with the water. Can I get this one? Nope, I need a bucket for that. But I have my water over here, running water over here, and running water over here. So that's what I do. I just try to create the systems to make it comfortable for the people that will be living in this village. Now, I just found out recently that the create mod has come to Bedrock. Now, this is what I do without the create mod. I can't imagine what I'm going to do with the create mod. When I get that thing, there's no holds barred. I'm going to go nuts. So all my science nerds and my engineer, let me preface this by saying I am not an engineer and I am not a scientist, but I am an artist with a vivid imagination and I do love science. So let me know what you think. Would some of this be plausible? I don't know. Let me know. Let's have a discussion. Tell me if I'm way off or if I might be onto something. And meanwhile, I'm going to go ahead and check these levels and do what I have to do in here to keep everything straight. Yep, I'm at work now, so I'll see you guys later. All right, peace.